If you have a problem with this, with people who used to exist thousands of years ago, trying to negotiate and trying to find out how unjust they were, well, they are very just compared to that time, my friend. Extremely just. In the time where everybody died by the sword, lived by the sword. You walk to go from city to city, you end to be a slave. Salman al-Farisi himself, the companion of your prophet, he was a son of a lord, according to the Muslim books, a son of a rich man from Persia. He ended to be captured by the Arab and he sold as a slave many times. He did no crime. They just saw him in the road. They capture him. That's it. There is no need for war. They see you in the road alone, and they are a bunch of guys with swords. They take you, they chain you, and then they sell you in the slavery market. And he end to be slave of Muhammad. You see, the Muslim, they say to us, do you know that the first one who called for the adhan was Bilal? Bilal, because he was a slave. The white Arab man, he sleep until 6 a.m. in the morning. The poor slave, the black man, he is the one who wake up very early in the cold and in the heat. He is the one who clean dishes. He is the one who carry the clothes of Muhammad. He is the one who carry the garbage. He is the one who do everything. He is the companion of Muhammad as a slave, not as a friend. And Muhammad died and he never free Bilal. After Muhammad he died, he went to Abu Bakr. He said to him, if you bought me for the sake of Allah, well, release me for the sake of Allah. If you bought me for yourself, keep me for yourself. If Muhammad was a person of just, why he did not free Bilal? And why he owned slaves anyway? How many slaves Jesus owned, guys? Can somebody tell me how many slaves Jesus have? How many slaves, male and female, Jesus owned? 0. What about Peter? What about Paul? What about the apostle of Jesus? How many slaves they own? 0. But we look at the companion of Muhammad and him, all of them, they have tons of slaves. Slave for sex, slave for garbage, slave for cleaning, slave for serving, slaves for guarding, I mean, you name it. So if you are honest, Islam is the most ugly religion. And then we have Muhammad, who came 600 years after Jesus. The whole world is going forward. Jesus never have a slave. How come you don't compare Jesus with the book of Exodus? Because you cannot find anything about Jesus, right? So you go back to the book of Exodus. Well, this is the Jews. They live, the Jews themselves, they've been enslaved, the whole nation. Guys, is that correct that the whole nation of the Jews were enslaved twice? Twice, the whole nation. Have you ever heard of this before? They took the whole nation. Everybody is a slave at that time. African slave, white people too. When the Egyptian, they came and enslaved the Israeli. The Egyptian are African. The whole nation enslaved. So if you want to compare, my friend, you have to go back on time and see how people used to live. There's a law fit with certain time. Your prophet law does not fit with that time. It does not fit with this time. You're stupid prophet when he said this law, free for free, black for black, or al-abd al-hurr wal-hurr, and women for women. He was trying to copy Musa's. He thought this is the law of Musa's, eye for an eye. He's being stupid. Islam is the religion of slavery. The word zinj in Arabic is not really an Arabic word, but it means Negro, the black. The zinj revolution. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of slaves, women, children, men, They've been slaughtered. They brought them to work in their land to feed them. The Arab man, the white man, he sit home having sex with his sex slaves, the white women. And the black ones, because they don't like black, they work in the farm. They work in the animals. The only countries in the world which capture African and sell them as slaves is Islamic countries. In Libya, in Mauritania, in Algeria, in Morocco, you name it. Mauritania, as an example, is a country which major population of it until now are slaves. And the world do nothing about it. They are watching. Isn't it Sophia who later he took his wife? She was his slave, who he captured her after he killed her husband, her father, her brother. She was a bride, and he did rape her in the same night he captured her. Why the Muslim will not do the same? And this is why I can't understand how in the world somebody is an African, he can be a Muslim. All the slaves in Europe was captured and shipped by the Arab of North Africa to Europe. Europe, they buy them. The Arab, they sell them. That is reality. You as an African, you should be the last one to be a Muslim.